Well, if you're ready, brother, we can kick off.
Let's get this thing rolling.
Yeah, well, if you don't mind, I had some thoughts about this golden ticket. First and foremost, thanks everyone for coming. Episode 126. Jason and I are tickled to have you. 126, pretty darn cool. I'll get the house cleaning out of the way right now. Chat feature, we're already using it on the side. Q&A at the bottom if you'd like to ask some questions anonymously or what have you, have dialogue with us. If this is your first time here, thanks a ton for coming. If it's not, thank you as well, because it's really awesome to see some familiar names and hear from you and all that good stuff. If you haven't been here before, this is a very interactive webinar series that we do. So we like to have a conversation. No question is off limits. And please keep any question, feedback, anything coming the entire time, because we're not here to bore you. We're here to spread the word. And stay till the end and win. We're going to give away a travel item at the end of the program that you can use at your next fundraising event. We're going to talk about fundraising specific, golden ticket subject today, which is actually something that we're really into, and spreading that strategy. And if you're viewing this as a recording, do us a favor. Yeah, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave us a comment, all that good stuff. And we're here every Thursday. So thanks everybody for coming. Thank you, bro. I can't stop thinking about, when I think about the golden ticket strategy, I keep thinking about when we had someone come on, and I forgive me if I don't recall who it was. It was someone that's been on the webinar before, obviously, a couple times. And she said, Jason and Trevor, I've got George Strait tickets that were donated. And I said, oh, live auction. Yeah. Those are awesome. Live auction for sure. And you said, hold on. And in my typical fashion, I was speeding a little bit. And you said, hold on. You said, Miss, what is the most that anything has ever gone for in your live auction? And she said $5,000. And you said, nope. You said golden ticket. So you can sell these donated George Strait tickets as a golden ticket opportunity. Everyone wants to go it was a front row thing. It was really cool. And you said, nope, golden ticket. And this is the reason why, because you can sell 100 tickets for $100. You can do that quite easily. It's a very digestible price point. You're going to raise $10,000 with your donated item. And you probably wouldn't be able to bring in that much in your live auction if you did it that way. And I went, and I haven't forgotten it since, obviously. And I just wanted to start with that, just the strategy behind the golden ticket and how profitable it can be. You know what I mean?
When I started doing a golden ticket type stuff back in 2018, got around it, and where we were kind of measured it from 2018 to 2019 with a lot of events.
Yeah.
It was the single biggest needle mover for that event.
Yep.
As far as net dollars.
Yeah.
That one, the live auction is successful. The fundraising, I'm talking about, this is day of, the night of fundraising, not this. We talk most of the time, we're spending a lot of time talking about pre-event. This is at the event. It is a big needle mover.
Yeah.
But it's not something that and I've seen it done pretty last minute and be very successful, but it's something you got to take serious, because it is. But a lot of questions that we get, and why we wanted to talk about it, is, well, what size fits my event? What should I be doing? Because we see a lot of times there's events, they're doing $100 golden ticket and they should be doing a $250 golden ticket.
Because they have capacity.
They've got capacity.
And then we're also believers in doing both. We're also now believers. Sure. It works so different price points.
It all depends. It all depends on what you're doing. Yeah. But maybe that you've got a small event and you said, well, I really want to do a golden ticket, but we've only got, there's only going to be 50 couples here. It's only 100 people there. Everyone has to buy one. So maybe you really do something crazy and you take your golden ticket item that you've been using all this time, that, or the, 100, and you make it $250 a ticket, and they, you're still trying to raise 10 grand or 5 grand, whatever the number is. You can move this around, but really I always want to come back to what is the end number that we have? What do we have? Beverly just talked about, they had a piece of jewelry and they netted out 6,500 with it. And I've seen that happen several times, where we get a piece of donated jewelry and it's valuable, but jewelry's very personal, big time different. I'm happy to give, I absolutely, will I give $100 to get a necklace? I mean, I love my wife. She likes jewelry. I like to give her jewelry because I like the fact when she likes me, And,
I
I
like
mean,
it when my wife likes me too. That's
yeah,
fun.
but I mean, I like, that's a really that's a good thing. But if it's not right, and if it's not something that I know that she's going to like and wear, bidding $10,000 at an
Yeah, you're
auction
out.
is really probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just not it because it's special. However, giving $100 for a chance on it all day long,
Yeah.
heck yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take two or three at that deal.
Yep.
So that's the way you've got to think about your donors, about what they're doing and what is the capacity. Like the George Strait tickets,
Yeah.
you've only got one set.
Yeah.
This is a very finite thing. You only got
Yeah.
one chance to do it.
Yeah.
Well, if we auction it off,
Get a few
and I'm not
thousand.
saying
Yeah.
that they won't do, because let's just say they bring $5,000, a lot of money
That's
for a
awesome.
pair of
That's
tickets.
awesome. Yeah.
But this specifically thing, here's a way that you can let everybody participate because everybody's going to want to go and get $100 for it.
Mm.
And it's always about maximizing. And I think that's one of the misunderstood things. And like, when a lot of times nonprofits, they ought to be doing a $250 level ticket. Now, obviously, you want to have a nicer gift. You want to have a nicer prize at $250.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you've got a piece of jewelry. You've got this really cool piece of jewelry, but you're only going to have a very small event. You want to have a golden ticket. You can,
Yep.
just make the price higher, because the biggest thing is limiting the number of tickets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you literally could do it, and you could say, we're going to do, it's $5,000 a ticket, and we're only having 10 of them.
Exactly. We've seen that.
Yeah. And
Really high. Yeah. It just depends on your event.
I saw this done years and years ago. They called it
Yep.
the golden apple. And you
Yep.
bought an apple, it was $5,000.
Yep.
And there were only 10 of them. They raised $50,000. And the winner, I don't remember what they got, but it was like a trip experience, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Something cool.
and that's why, you do something that's going to be special, something that somebody would be willing to do that. I mean, it was worth 15, 20 grand. Is what it probably would have bought if that same thing, if they had auctioned it off. It didn't cost them that much.
Yeah.
But if they had auctioned it off, it probably would have brought 15 or 20,000. Well, this way it brought 50.
Yeah.
And this was an event where they had two or three, they had a golden ticket raffle. They had this other, a regular raffle, it was just a bunch, and they could sell unlimited. And then they did this one. This was very specific.
Yeah.
We've seen it done at $10,000 levels, raise $100,000. It's got to be something pretty spectacular, and you have to have the buyers. Now, if you don't have the people there that are willing to give a $10,000 gift, and then that's where you got to look at it, have that capacity. Well, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. We got right into the weeds on this. Does everyone understand this? Sorry, Jay. I just had to tell.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
Does everyone know
what a golden ticket is?
Yeah. Does everyone know what the golden ticket strategy is? If you don't, raise your hand. Ask us a question.
Well, let's go ahead and say it, because there may be somebody watching on video and they're going, "What the heck are they talking about?"
Yeah, absolutely. So for in our world, the golden ticket opportunity, and Jason's the one that introduced it to me. And we could talk about it, about all the different bullet points and how it appeals to folks. But it's an opportunity for folks. We more than what do you think, Jay? 80% of the time, we're really pushing folks or nudging them or encouraging them to do a $100 golden ticket and sell 100 tickets, draw a winner, and at the event. And I love the price point. I love the fact that many folks can get involved. We like the idea of selling tickets pre-event as well, and anything left over, sell the night of. But then Jason was talking about how you can really stretch the golden ticket out based on your event and what kind of capacities in the room, where we offer a $250 golden tickets, $500 golden tickets all the time.
Let's do the basic strategy. So the basic strategy is you sell 100 tickets.
Yep.
For $100 to raise 10,000.
Yep.
We have a trip. It's a selection of 4. It costs $19.95. And we want you to go get that underwritten if you use one of ours. But you can also, as we mentioned, you can use things that have been donated. You've got a piece of jewelry. Maybe you've got an item that you don't think is going to bring 10,000, but it ought to. Mm-hmm. This is a way that you can do it. Mm-hmm. Maybe the most expensive thing in your event is, $4,000 or $5,000.
Yeah.
But you got 300, 500 people show up. You got 250, checkbooks, 250 couples.
Yep.
So that you can sell them. And the really cool thing about a golden ticket, because it's a finite amount.
Yep.
You can sell them from the stage. And what do I mean by that is, as you're going and selling, you can start selling them before the event. You don't have to have a paper ticket either. You do not need to spend any money on a paper ticket. Don't go get them printed. Don't do it. It slows everything down. Make it all electronic. And somebody says, hey, I want to get my ticket. Okay. And it's Trevor Nelson. He buys it. Let's say he bought it, a week before the event. It doesn't matter because hopefully you're using software, and this is how you can make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
But then the day of the event, let's just say that you've, had people going around selling, you set up a little booth, or a little table for the golden ticket, which I always suggest to do it right behind registration. So that's like people walk past it. You stand there with a couple of things and say, would you like to do you have your golden ticket yet?
Yep.
No, I don't. All I need is your bidder number. We're only selling 100 tickets, and this is what you get a chance to win this. It's real simple. The reason is because everybody wants to stop and write stuff down and take cash and get a credit card number. Well, we've talked about this before. When people are at a gala, what's the first place they go? The bar. The very first thing they do is they, coat check, get registered, and they're going to look for their table and they're getting a drink. It's just what it is. The majority. Yeah. And then they're going to go wander around. They're going to look, do that. Well, you've got a chance to get them right here, but make it really simple. Because if I'm sitting here in, this is a strategy of selling the ticket, but it's still important. If I've got, my wine in my hand and I'm talking to Trevor and somebody comes up and goes, hi, would you like to buy a golden ticket? And I said, well, tell me what the golden ticket is. And they say it. Well, what do I do? Well, don't make me sign. Just take my buyer's number.
Yep.
What's your buyer's number? 321. Got it. Done.
Make it easy.
I'm done. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to sit there. My wife buys one. She doesn't have a credit card because, she's not carrying a purse, or if she is, it's about this big.
Yeah.
And balancing, otherwise she's got to come find me. And so that's just the way you want, people think. Make it really simple. Take away all the reason. Mm-hmm. But the final reason why it works so well, when it's time to do the drawing, let's just say that you sold 80 tickets. You got 20 left. Your auctioneer gets up and says, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the golden ticket. Mm-hmm. Who all has your golden ticket? Raise your hand. All these people. Before you even get that out of your mouth, somebody's going to be holding their buyer's number up because they want one.
Yeah.
But what you say is, if you don't have one, I've only got 20 of them left. Get your buyer's number up and I'll sell it to you real quick. Mm-hmm. Number 321, 87, 659, you're right. And you've got one person writing the numbers down, and then somebody else is right behind there writing that number on a ticket. And then we just drop it all in the hopper, churn it up and draw it out. That's why it's successful. I will tell you, this is an interesting, I don't have a full statistic, but this is, I would just say anecdotal evidence. The $250 golden tickets almost always sell out before the auctioneer ever gets up to draw it. Mm. The $100, not so much. And I always think, because the people at the higher level, when we do the higher level, there's more of an expectation. It's a $250 gift. The what they win is pretty significant. We do one, it's, cost the nonprofit $4,000, but if we auction it off, it'd sell for $8,000 to $10,000. Mm-hmm. And so, those things work really, really well. And, it's just a really good strategy to raise a lot of net money just like that, because there are people that will not give you $100.
Yeah.
But they'll give you $100 if they know there's a chance to win something that they could not buy anyway.
Yeah. I call it one of the easiest ways to raise money at events. I don't know if I'm speaking too,
it's a big
over speaking or what have you. It's just, I just know, and also, Jason, I thought about this. We didn't get a chance to speak yet this morning, but I was like, I speak to a lot of organizations. We're in the trips and experience business, and we spend more time talking about, outside of trips and live auctions and silent auctions. We spend more time talking about that than we do anything else. But when it gets down to folks that have never used consignment opportunities like the ones we offer, trips and experience like the ones we offer, the first thing that we typically hear is, tell me about this golden ticket. Because, it's very low risk and very high reward, right? And we're only asking for $100 from each participant. What I also think, and this is obvious, right, to some folks already, but it's like the psychology, the supply and demand, the scarcity of it. There's only 100.
Yeah.
So get yours, you know what I mean? Pre-event, we like the idea of raising money, pre-event and selling the tickets, especially for folks and using the advent of technology, especially for folks that might not even be able to make the event, right, in person. Great way to get dollars in the door that way also. But it's a game of chance. And there's like we've spoken to experts in the raffle space. And like Matt in our organization, like really in his previous profession, perfected multiple raffles and multiple price points, and we can talk for an hour about it. But folks really like the idea of it's a game of chance. There's a gambling instinct about it as well that appeals to folks, and it's just
well,
fun.
that's what I'm saying. It's no different than when we talk about like these are for golf tournaments.
Sure.
Every golf hole there's somebody's gambling something on it, whether it's for a drink, whether it's for a sandwich, whether it's for $1, $100, whatever. It's gambling. I mean, it's just part of it. And in that same thing, it's that game of chance. It's the same reason to buy lotto tickets, and the odds are
Precisely.
1,000,000,000 to 1, and they still buy it.
Correct.
And so
psychology dictates that people buy them. Yeah.
But here's the thing that this does: it gives you a great opportunity to underwrite something.
Even
if you use a donated item, underwrite it.
Explain that, Jason. So it's the golden ticket presented by.
So it's the golden ticket, but provided by by ABC Charities and such and such. So let's say that the person donated this. What I would do is say they're underwritten by the person that donated the tickets, but you could still add fees to it. But like in our case, when we do the golden ticket, we call it a golden ticket trifecta. It's 3 ways to raise money with one trip. So you can 100 tickets for $100. You get it underwritten. So let's say, for us, it costs $2,000. We recommend you underwrite it for, 2,500 to 5. We see it underwritten for $2,500 to $5,000. So your net money, your net gain right from
you're already in. Yep.
And you've had somebody go in sponsorship and cover the cost plus money. So they get, it's, hey, we've got the ABC, the ABC company, Acme USA, their golden tickets coming up next. Don't forget to get yours, that kind of stuff. Time to draw the Acme USA golden ticket. And,
there you go.
They get a lot of fluff out of that. But that's what their people are looking for. But then we have people auction it off. So you just sold it
4 or 5 times in the live auction.
Yeah. And we're seeing it sell. And, you're making, let's say $2,000, say it sells for $4,000. And you're making $2,000, it sells 4 times. That's 8,000. Plus you netted 10. Plus you made it 1,500. So all of a sudden you've taken this one little $2,000 item and netted significant amount. That's why we say it's a strategy.
100%.
And part of what the nuts and bolts of what I really wanted to talk about today, and we'll get to your questions, Jade. I'm going to get to that here in just a second.
Cool.
The nuts and bolts of what this really is about today is a strategy, but it's how to decide what's right for your event. So, and that's where Jade's question comes in great. She said, can this be successful casual event setting? Absolutely.
I actually
think to wait for a gala. No,
I actually think it's kind of a no-brainer in a casual setting.
You can use it for all kinds. Let's just use this for an example. Let's say that you're having a VIP party. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is invitation only your top donors.
Sponsor event. Yeah.
Sponsor event. Well, you can raise money there too. Okay.
100%.
It's still great where you can have something really cool. Hey, what have you got going on? We've got this really cool thing. We've only got 50 tickets, only 50 of them, they're $500 a piece. We're going to raise $25,000. And you get in the winner's we're going to draw the winner here tonight. And this is where you get to go. And it's some some really awesome, spectacular thing. You could do, let's just say we've got the reason we do what we call a golden ticket with choice, because it appeals to multiple things. We want to have domestic,
you mind if I explain that?
Like once in a lifetime. But you could do something. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do with that. And it really gets kind of cool because people want that stuff. And if you've got people with significant capacity and they see something that they want, that they are interested in, and that's, again, it's got to be, if you want wealthy people to do stuff, you got to have something wealthy people want to do. But when you're doing that, so you could raise $25,000, and we see that strategy. It's the strategy that I want you to really take home. and then mold it to what you're doing. So as Jade said, I've got this casual, deal to do, and I'm thinking about doing that instead. Absolutely.
I think it's fun. I
Well,
also think, I also think, pardon me, Jay, I think it's a really great way that you can advertise the idea of coming to your event. You're like, hey, we're not just going to have this casual event, but we're also going to have this opportunity. And so there's an advertising piece of it that folks haven't seen before a lot of times that I think could be another really cool layer of the strategy, right?
But
You know what I mean?
so but I want to go back to what's going to be right. Because I mean, if you guys here aren't convinced that the golden ticket is the thing to do, get up for a coaching session. We'll talk about it more. But let's just say that you said, okay, I'm in for a golden ticket. I want to do it.
Yep.
But how do I know what's right for me? What's going to be right for my event, for my donors?
Good question.
If you're if you kind of can base it. I'm just going to give you an example.
Yeah.
Number one, how many people are going to be at your event? If the larger the event, the broader it is, the more people you're going to have with capacity, you're going to know. Maybe you don't have that big capacity and you say, look, we've got 600 people show up, but what's the cost of ticket? Cost of ticket to get there, it's $100 per couple. Well, we're not in that deal where maybe 250 may not be there. But if it's, 250 to 500, somewhere around there per person, if that's kind of how you look at it, real simple thing. If you have, a 10 top table and it's $2,500 and that's the minimum, well, $250 that's doable. And that's where I would start looking is are people paying to come? How many people are we here? And there's not an exact formula, but you start to get a feel for it. And then, what are we doing? How's it going to be? What's somebody going to put forth? And that's what you really need to look at. If you've got a lot of people, but I will caution you, and I think the one rule, I have never seen this rule broken and it work. No more than 100 chances, no more than 100.
Gotcha. And that's where we get into having
multiple
less.
Raffles. We can say you could do 10, you could do 15, whatever.
Keep the supply and demand, the psychology, and the gambling, the chance on your side.
It's easier to sell 100 tickets for $250 than 300 tickets for 100 or 300 tickets for 200. I have never seen, I literally have had people say, we've sold 300 tickets last year. They do this and they sell, maybe they sell 110. The point's not that they made more money, but you don't get a win.
Yeah.
You want to have a win. Make sure that you sell that, because when the auctioneer gets up there, and this happened in an event I did back when I was still an auctioneer, they sold 17 tickets out of and they were $200 a piece. They're raising $20,000. And they'd only sold 17 tickets because they broke every rule about selling golden tickets. They just had a couple of ladies walking around trying to take credit cards and just bad communication.
Rough. Yeah.
And that they were just more interested in having cocktails than they were in selling tickets.
Yep.
Okay. That said, so I get up there and I've got 83 tickets. And we took 10 minutes. We sold every one of them. I sold every one of them from the microphone. And we were able to sit there and everybody stood up and cheered that we raised $20,000 for the organization.
Did you do that before the live auction?
Before the live auction.
That's a huge win and a lot of excitement, a lot of energy.
Excitement gets going. Yeah. Everybody goes, we just got it. We do it.
I like the timing of it.
And if you get to where you're at 90 tickets or 91, 2, 3, you need to just put the other numbers in there and say, oh my gosh, we're done, sold out, and just celebrate. You got to tell a little fib or have somebody on standby to buy them, do whatever you got to do, but you got to get there, and you should. The only reason that you don't get there is because your auctioneer quit, or you've got somebody worried about a timeline, more worried about a timeline than they're worried about raising money.
That makes sense. Yep.
Literally have seen it where there's 5-6 minutes into it. And because I was at an event, I wasn't the auctioneer, and this is a really good customer. Okay. They're a very good client. And She comes over, she goes, tell him to stop. We've got to get on with the timeline. And I said,
Like, we're raising
Sammy,
money
it's
right
going to be,
now.
I said, Sammy, I said, let him raise some money. I
Yeah.
said, he's up here. I said, just let him finish doing what he's doing. I said, he's going to get this done. And he did.
Yep.
But we just got to have patience to raise money, not spend it all night long. I agree. But anyway, but that's what it is. You get a win.
Yeah,
and
I love that.
That builds energy that goes into the live auction, into the fund a need, all throughout your event. And people remember that. That's what they want. They want something to cheer for. Remember, everybody loves a winner, you know?
Agreed. Yeah, we love that. We've always said announce the winner before the live auction, but when we get the opportunity, we don't push our agenda. We don't usually speak with a lot of pressure when it comes to using our items, but we do say do
it's
it
just
before
the
live
strategy.
auction. Do it before the live auction, and then use it as, because we give. I'm just using ours as an example, just for an illustration. But we have Tuscany and Vegas and Puerto Vallarta and Cabo San Lucas as options in just one of our golden ticket offerings. And we know that there's typically someone in the room or multiple people in the room that didn't win, that had the capacity to buy the item at $3,000 to $4,000 as a live auction, and they want to go. They're like, I want to go to Puerto Vallarta. I want to go to Tuscany. So that's why we always say announce the winner before the live auction, then do a live auction item, make it an impromptu live auction item with an auctioneer. Yeah, right afterwards, because there's hunger, right? There's support in the room for it. So I think it's huge. Yeah, we've seen it work
and you'll be
so many
surprised
times.
what happened. So I did an event several years ago. We sold 100 tickets for $250. Actually, and I didn't have to sell a single ticket. They were sold out.
Yeah,
they were completely sold out before the event started. $250 a piece. They raised $25,000. The prizes chose was a villa. The villa's $4,500. So they net $20,500 for there.
Yeah.
Then it sold 5 times in the live auction for $10,000.
Yep.
So they net another
$5,500
per
item. Yeah.
Yeah. So times 5. So 27 plus, 20,500. They netted $48,000.
Yeah, almost 50,000 with
The strategy is sound. You've just got to commit. Number one, don't waffle around on it. Somebody's going to say, well, why don't we sell 300 tickets? No, we are not selling 101. We're not selling 150. We're not selling anything else 100. If you think that the capacity's there, raise the price.
Sure.
We've got a lot of people there. We think we could sell more. Then let's sell them for $150. There's no reason you can't do that.
Yeah,
we're going to sell 100 tickets for $150, raise $15,000. It's okay. Give the same $2,000 price. I'm saying it's a $4,000, but which costs you $2,000. It's okay to do that kind of stuff, but that's the one rule you don't want to break. But everything else is flexible.
Totally.
And that's why, thinking about what am I doing? Because I see people now underperform with this because it's scary. We got to get scared. Well, what happens if we don't sell enough tickets? Well, if you can't sell 20 tickets for $250, which would more than, you're making money. I think it's 17 tickets. It takes you 17, something like that. Let's just say we're using our golden tickets, $4,000. If you can't sell that many tickets, well, then you probably need to do something different. You'll sell them. I'm just telling you, you will sell them. And the better than that,
if you got the
is
whole
go get
team,
it, and so you don't have to worry about it.
I have a question.
If you're not underwriting everything, you need to watch some of our other episodes.
I want to ask a question about the mechanics of selling it. When we've talked plenty about the mechanics. You say, hey, did you get your golden ticket yet? Right when you're walking in, get folks early. I totally dig that. I think it's awesome. Is it wrong? Because I've actually seen this at an event. I don't think it's wrong, but I just want to get your opinion. And then any other questions that we have. Jay, we see another question that came in from you. Thank you. Please keep them coming. A call for questions, everybody, about anything that we're talking about. But I went to an event and they had a QR code placard at my seat to buy the golden ticket, to just zap and buy it right then. I actually thought that was kind of a fun strategy. If you slip through the cracks, I mean, you know what I mean?
I think that the number one, it goes back to the whole point about using the buyer number, scanning it where they can, put it on, if hopefully you're using electronic, you're using some kind of a software platform, so they can just go right there and buy it.
Yeah, these
Put
were
it right at the
$250
very top.
tickets. I thought it was
The
kind of
very
smart.
first, yeah, the very first thing that they should see is that golden ticket. Any kind of raffle drawing, the thing that you want more people, that should be the very first
I
thing
think
on the
so.
list.
Yeah.
Because what we've seen, I've seen somebody do it and they had it buried down in the bottom somewhere
Not
you
good.
couldn't, you know, right there at the very top.
With the straight give. Yeah, with the straight
Yeah,
donation.
you know, whether it's, you know, being creative with QR codes, we use them and we see that they're very successful.
Yeah.
But doing those things, it's still just the most efficient way to make money because people are motivated because they it's the chance they're going to get something. It's a dollar amount that adds up pretty quick because, you know, you've got to sell. Think about this. You have to sell 1,000 tickets for $10. It takes the same amount of time to sell a ticket for $10 or $100 or $250 or whatever. It costs the same amount of money. It's
Smarter,
the
not
same amount
harder.
of time.
Smarter, not harder. Yeah.
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 And so, you know, it's like we've seen people, we do and we're not here to talk about this specific strategy, but like you know, where you're buying just specific tickets where there's, you know, it's 5 for 100 or a wingspan for $250.
Fun.
You don't want anybody having to dig in their wallet. You don't want them to sit there and do any more than just show you a number. I'm number 1, 2, 3. Same thing. Talking about the golden ticket raffle. It was, but the same thing applies because people will, if they're having to pull a credit card out or they got to spend money now, they'll think about it differently if they do it later. If they don't have to do anything and make it, they'll spend, you know, 1.5 to 2 times more money. And what I mean by that, it's no different than on a credit card. You know, well, I can put it on my credit card. I don't have to think about it right now. But if I've got to pull folding money out of my pocket, I just can't let go of that $100 bill so easy.
Yeah, it's cumbersome.
Yeah, it's just because we're using inspired impulse.
Yep.
We want them to be inspired
and ease. We want to make it as easy as possible for folks to get.
You know, Jade, she's got a question here.
She's talking about a live auction.
The winning cause, $100 they spent on the ticket go towards the total. I'm not really sure what I understand.
I'm thinking she's talking about if we use it as a live auction item and they spend.
So here's the way that you want to do this. I'm going to use this as just as the golden ticket with nothing else.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to imagine that you're using our items, 1995. So we'll just use that. Say that you're selling 100 of them. So you have to sell 20 tickets. The first 20 tickets go to cover the cost.
Break even. Okay. Yeah.
I'm never going to talk about that. It's never going to come out of my mouth. I'm not going to do that. It doesn't even matter because all we're doing is we're raising $10,000. So when I go to sell the ticket, hey, you know, hey, Trevor, hey, it's great to see you. Thanks for being here. Hey, I want to make sure you get signed up for the golden ticket raffle. We're raising $10,000. There's only 100 tickets. I've already sold, 18 of them. And so there's not that many left. So you better get on quick because I haven't sold the winner yet. Wink, wink. Yeah. And, doing that kind of thing. And they go, yeah, sure. Put me in because they know there's a limited quantity, especially when you get to the end. Because they know, if you've only sold 17 tickets, my odds are really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as we go along and sell, but they know the maximum it'll be a 1 in 100, which is really good when you're talking about a raffle.
Sure, especially if it's a big room. So I think Jay was talking about if they sell it as a live auction item, does the $100 because they lost and they want, if someone's going to spend $33,000,
oh no, it's additional.
No, yeah, I don't think they're going to care that they lost the 100 because
they're not going to care,
especially if they're going to spend $4,000.
This is a fundraiser.
But tell me if we're off.
Not a fair raiser.
In assuming that question, Jay, was about the live auction. So, does
Jay,
anyone
if we didn't cover it, and
let me know, please.
Yeah, let us know. We want to make sure to answer your question.
We didn't skim over it quickly or anything like that. But does everyone understand? Thank you, Jade. Thanks for the questions. Any other questions, please? We got another 15, 20 minutes with you all. So does everyone understand when Jason's talking about sponsorships and underwriting the golden ticket? If you don't, let us know if you want us to embellish. But I was also thinking, we talk about this all the time with sponsorships and underwriting. Having someone underwrite the golden ticket, the reason why it popped in my brain is Jason was talking about, he made it about we're raising $10,000. It's not about, yes, of course, they're only $100. Of course, we only have 100 of them, but we're here to raise $10,000. And you have supporters and sponsors that that care about your mission, obviously, in your organization, that would absolutely be willing to underwrite an opportunity if they know that if the strategy holds true, which it will, and you and your staff and your volunteers get behind selling the tickets, that if they could underwrite, let's say, a product like ours for $2,000 or more, because we have organizations add 100% of that cost onto it. But there are so many folks, it's a very creative way to pitch a supporter or an underwriter or a sponsor an opportunity to get involved in your event. So, okay, so you're telling me, like, Jason's from the organization, and he's telling me, I'm a business owner, I care about the mission, that if I underwrite your golden ticket opportunity for $2,000, that you can raise 10 with it. Yeah, I'm in. And I think that that's just a really, really underutilized and underappreciated. And we're preaching this constantly to folks. Give folks the opportunity to underwrite something like the golden ticket. I think it's a
I've got a
really
client,
sound idea.
one of our longtime clients. They do the same thing. They do it every year,
Yeah.
and they usually sell 2 sponsorships for the golden ticket. Golden ticket brought to you by ABC Charity, I'm sorry, ABC Company and Acme USA. And they
Precisely.
sell them, and it cost them $2,000. They sell it for $2,500. Now they're usually selling the bigger one, but they're selling, it's $4,000. So they're making $1,000 on it, and maybe more. I've seen them sell it for $5,000-$10,000. Kind of depends on what their goal
what the
is,
prize is as well.
And where they put it. But you should be underwriting everything. So
hey, listen,
if you're not underwriting everything or given an option, it's a
yeah,
great option.
Yeah. Hey, maybe you got 2 doctors that are cross marketing and they can both underwrite. Maybe you've got a construction company and they have a subcontractor that's a big electrician in town. And it's great cross marketing because you can guarantee a lot of exposure, to an underwriter, a supporter, a company in your town that wants to help and underwrite the golden ticket. You can provide a lot of shine, and you can guarantee that shine because you're going to be promoting the sale of the tickets and the opportunity to win and all that good stuff pre-event, during the event, put lights on it, the whole nine. So once again, very underutilized.
Beverly's a really great client of ours. Beverly and Latour Devin, they're down in Norman, Oklahoma. They're a wonderful client for us, and they do a really good job. And for that exact thing, if I were Beverly and I'm going to talk to somebody down in Norman, America, I'm going to go say, hey, whoever, I'm going to go talk to somebody down there that's got a company, and I'm going to go, let's say it was Trevor. I'm going to say, hey, Trevor, hey, we're raising money. It's going to be, we're going to do this Latour Devin just like we have every year. And we've got the golden ticket. We're going to raise $10,000 with it.
Yep.
All that money stays right here in our community right here. And what I'd like you to do is, would you be willing to underwrite it for $2,500? That covers the cost of the prize. And also you get your name lit up there and to be that person. What they're looking for and what they want to hear about is leverage. And it's how to get other people involved. See, when I'm sponsoring something and I'm underwriting, I don't want to be just the only giver to it. And so if my $2,500 can all of a sudden be expanded into 10,000, well, that's a win all the way around. I get,
or do you get that kind of leverage?
Feel good of it. Hey, I got him. I helped him raise $10,000. All that kind of stuff does. And I'm telling you, you cannot underestimate that I don't want to say prideful, but that feeling of satisfaction that donors get when they know they helped you expand and do more. And they didn't have to just write a big check. I think donors get more satisfaction out of making a donation that can turn into something more significant. Absolutely. And that's why the underwriting is so powerful with this.
100%.
So,
Bev,
I know several have done this. I wanted to ask this question, Trevor. Have done a golden ticket. When you did it, did anybody have where you finished and you go, wow, we should have done the $250 golden ticket? Anybody? We did 100. We should have done
price point should have been more,
or vice versa. Good or bad. I'd like to hear that feedback because, what we see, our anecdotal evidence that we see is people are, I would say 9 out of 10 organizations sell out every time. And probably 7 and 10, 8 and 10 do the $100 versus the $250.
That's my
and I'm going to say that 50% of the people that do the $100 should have done the higher level.
Sure.
Based on their numbers, just based on their numbers.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Let us know any feedback.
Yeah. Any questions on
experience. And any other questions? Yeah. We've covered a lot about this one strategy, but I talk to folks all the time that have never been exposed to any items like ours before. And the easiest thing for them to digest, once again, like Jade was talking about, was just the golden ticket. Super easy. I keep using that term, but it is the easiest way to raise $10,000 that we've ever seen. Jason's the one that exposed me to it in the first place. And now it's just standard in every conversation that we have when we talk about items and fundraising. Yeah. And I just love that there's a different price point. Donors love different price points. Jason made a great point earlier about how someone's, a lot of folks, a lot of supporters are not just going to write you a check for $100, but they will write you a check for $100 if there's an opportunity for them to win something. Sure. You know what I mean? Tangible.
Well, we see the same thing in the craze strategy, where, they're buying a trip that the nonprofit nets $1,000 on, but were they going to give you $1,000? No, they weren't. But this strategy allows them to utilize. We're leveraging their vacation budget into a giving budget. Yep. It's the same thing. Right. Yep. You're just trying to basically get into, I'm trying to figure out how to remove friction. Yep. Get into it. And a lot of people that, quite frankly, especially at the higher level, the $250 golden tickets, mm-hmm. the reason that they sell out is because usually the people that buy it, number one, mm-hmm. it's a higher price point trip. I think
there's prestige pricing. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there's prestige to it, and it's something that they want. Mm-hmm. It really is something that they want to do because they've got enough money, they can do whatever they want. So it's something special. And they believe in the mission. They're already giving other levels. So it's just one more way to get into their pocket, so to speak.
Yep. I love that.
Any final questions, guys? We're going to wrap it up. If not.
And we have something to give, sir.
We do. I've got a winner.
You do?
It was really hard.
Yeah. Last call for questions. Everybody, thanks so much for the questions that we got and the feedback. Oh, another thing, and a reminder, know your audience. Bev was talking about jewelry. Fantastic. We talk about George Strait tickets. We talk about experiences. Know your audience, know the demo, know what's going to appeal to folks and things like that when you're considering different things like trips and experiences or tangible items or tickets or what have you. Just keep that in mind. Oh, and Jason did mention as well, if there's any questions or, I'm not quite sure where to put this. Sign up for a coaching call with us. It's free.
Yeah, for sure. Please
you can go to our website and just click the free coaching button, and we're happy to spend time with you. We do it every day. So
again, leave any feedback down below. We're going to give away a winner here in just a second. And if you've got any feedback, please don't hesitate. And Jade, you're the winner today.
Hey, Jade. All right.
Jade, a big hand.
Right on.
Really appreciate it. And awesome.
Thanks for coming, everybody. Appreciate you, Jade. Thanks so much.
We'll give you the details too, Jade. Bev, you're so welcome.
Yeah, appreciate you all. Thanks so much. Yep. Awesome stuff.
All right. Well, listen. Thanks, brother. It's good stuff.
Thank you, brother. And we'll see you next Thursday for episode 127.
Thank you, Calvin.
Thanks, brother.
Appreciate you. Talk
to you soon, man.